Hello everyone, welcome you all to my YouTube channel. Today video I'm going to talk about how to become a JavaScript engineer. So in this video I will guide you a step by step how to become a JavaScript engineer. So today video we are going to learn about what is JavaScript and what are the benefit of having if you learn JavaScript and what are the things you can build with the JavaScript, how much salary you will get earned per annum as a JavaScript developer, and finally you are going to learn what are the concepts you must learn to become a JavaScript developer. Then let's dive into the video. If you're new to my channel, hi, it's me Rahim. I'm a software engineer, JavaScript. Okay, let's talk about what is JavaScript first. So JavaScript is basically a programming language. Why we use JavaScript is if you want to interact the browsers, or basically most of the time this is get used in the web development, but JavaScript is very popular language to use for any other several applications development as well. But let's talk about the web application development first of all, right? So JavaScript basically used for web application, and to make it dynamically change the content and without refreshing the page and modifying the elements, adding elements to the DOM. So these are the things we are doing with the JavaScript. So not only that, JavaScript is basically playing a major role of the web applications development, right? So this is what we call JavaScript. So it's basically helpful for developing web applications, making an application dynamic, and dynamically adding an element and dynamically modifying the content inside the web application. So these all are doing with the JavaScript. That is the brief introduction about JavaScript. And also, you know what, JavaScript is interpreted programming language. It means it's not required to compile before running the application. You can, if you write a JavaScript code, you can directly run that particular code in the browser. So that kind of ability this JavaScript has. So this is the reason why all people are talking about, telling about or describing about JavaScript is basically interpreted programming language, right? Yes. So what is the benefit you have when you become a JavaScript developer? So if you become a JavaScript developer, first thing is you can build a super applications. That means if you know JavaScript very well, right? So if you know very well JavaScript, you can develop any kind of application. For example, web application development, right? Web application, you can develop a web applications, you can develop a mobile applications, you can develop a games, you can develop a VR applications, you can develop a desktop applications, you can develop a IoT applications, you can develop chatbots and the what you can say, yeah, you can develop a chatbot, AI chatbots and all, and you can develop a WebRTC. That means using WebRTC, you can develop a conference call application like video calling, like what we already exist in the Zoom or Meet, MS Teams. These all are basically a kind of using WebRTC. So it's a kind of communications applications, right? So we can take a call and we can take a video calls and we can talk with each others, everything we can do. So you can develop an application like that. So that is possible if you know JavaScript very well. And you can develop a machine learnings and like using TensorFlow and the BrainJS and all. So you can do variety of things if you know JavaScript very well, right? So the third thing is, so as a JavaScript developer, so you know what, JavaScript also one of the popular programming language in this world. So everywhere, everyone are using JavaScript. So for example, if you are a JavaScript developer, right? So if you know very well, if you know very well the concepts and all, so JavaScript concept and all, so you can work on top of any kind of framework. You know what? So all the years, latest frameworks and libraries are getting out day by day, right? So people are always jumping and learning these frameworks and library, whatever the newly releasing libraries are coming, right? But actually it's very difficult if you don't know the fundamental concept of JavaScript. So this is the reason why you need to be a strong at fundamental level. So if you know very well the fundamental concept in JavaScript, you can work on any kind of a framework or any kind of JavaScript libraries. So like for example, Angular, it's a framework written on top of JavaScript. And if you take a React library, so it is basically another library written on top of JavaScript. Likewise, everything's are written through this JavaScript. So that is the reason you first need to learn a JavaScript fundamental concept. That is must, right? Being a JavaScript developer is really cool, and one, I feel like we can develop any kind of applications which we want. And second is basically whatever imagination in your mind, you can make it to reality. So this is what I uh, feel like the second thing. And third thing is you can get earn very well. So salary basically depend with the country to country and the based on the experience, right? So if you are outside of the country, or if you are in a Europe country or Europe Union, inside the Europe, then you will get around 50,000 to 60,000 dollars per annum. It's again, it's vary with the based on experience and all and the country. But if you are in Sri Lanka, so the video which you are watching from Sri Lanka, I am also Sri Lankan. So if you are watching from the Sri Lanka, normally junior can earn per annum around 5 to 10 lakhs per annum. So if it is a mid-level developer, you can get earn 10 to 2 million, 10 lakhs to 20 lakhs per annum. And if you are a senior developer, senior JavaScript developer, you can get earn 25 lakhs to 50,000 per annum. So this is what the range is, basically the rough range I am telling to you, right? So this is the reason you need to pick the JavaScript. Know what job is really demand, so you can apply anywhere. If you know very well JavaScript, you can definitely get learn to your dream job, right? So that is there. Now let's talk about what are the things you need to learn to become a JavaScript developer, right? The first thing is you need to learn about, first one is you need to know about data type and how to declare and define variables. This is the first thing. So if you are learning, so if you are a beginner, so if you are watching my video, if you are as a beginner, so if you need to know about the basic stuff, so first thing you need to learn about how to define a variable, how to declare a variable, what are the data types available in the JavaScript. So these things first you need to know about as a beginner, right? So you must need to learn this thing first. And second is JavaScript operators. These are few of the JavaScript operators are there, that is arithmetic operators and logical operators and comparison operators. So what are these things is, arithmetic is used for calculations with the numbers, and comparison used for when you are equaling and checking whether the value is equal or not. So these thing this comparison operator is get helpful. And logical operator, so maybe you will know about OR operators and AND operators, so checking those things. So this is what we call logical operators. So likewise, assignment operator is there. If you are assigning anything, so assignment operators come to the picture. So you must need to learn about JavaScript operators. Another one is conditional statements. So you know what, conditional statement also very important. You need to learn that concept, because you know what, most of the things you need to, most of the time you need to write these statements. You know what, if else statement, else if, and everything you need to know about it, right? So I'm just giving a rough guidelines here, so you can learn more things in the internet, surfing through internet, or you can take a help from ChatGPT. So if you are using ChatGPT, it will help you to it's like a mentor. If that will be help you to learn more things faster and quicker, right? So that is there. And yeah, what I'm saying is you can learn these things very easily, but I'm just giving here the guideline, what are the things you must need to learn to become a JavaScript developer. And another thing is you need to know about how to declare the function, so how to define the functions in the JavaScript, right? So you need to learn how to declare the functions and how to pass as an argument to that particular function, and how to return some values when I call the function. So these things you need to learn. Another one is you need to understand scopes and closure. So yes, if you know about this function, declaring a function and all, you must need to learn the concept, the scope, and the closure as well. So this is really important. If you miss this point, then it's a little bit of difficult, right, to write a good code, a standard code. So you must need to learn this scope and the closure in JavaScript. Another one is DOM manipulation. So DOM manipulation. So if you want to become a web app developer or web application developer, you must need to know about this DOM manipulation. So DOM is a short word, so it stands for document object module. So document object module is, you know what, if you are taking a web applications or web pages, it's basically a structure, right? So it's basically a tree structure. So that is how the DOM is telling. So if something is running on the web page, it's basically structured into tree structure, right? So this is what we call DOM. So DOM is basically having a lot of things like objects, basically showing as an object. So if you are not watch my previous videos, I'm talking about DOM, what is document object model and everything. So if you're not watched that video, go to my channel and find out the video, and you can learn many things. Not only that, I teach many things through this my YouTube channel. So if you want to know more things about JavaScript, you can go to my channel and you can learn anything you want, right? DOM manipulation is very important. DOM manipulation mean, so I already told you, DOM is stand for document object module. The manipulation is mean, let's say you want to adding new elements to your page, you can do this using DOM manipulation. So you want to remove some element, you can touch the DOM and you can delete it. And likewise, DOM is basically playing a crucial role or important role. So you must need to learn a DOM as well. So what is DOM and what are the things we can do with the DOM? Everything you need to learn, that is must. Another thing is you want to learn ES5 and ES6 syntax. So what is this ES5 and ES6? So ES5 is stand for ECMAScript 5 and ES6 is stand for ECMAScript 6. So what's the difference between these is, because this is sounds like crazy, but these each and every new features or each and every versions, they are releasing out new features. So that is the reason special transformations happen from ES5 to ES6. So ES6 introduced some of the new concept, and ES5 is the oldest one, and when ES6 is come, the upgraded version, so they introduce a few of the new concept as well. For example, right? For example, if you take a ES5, right? ES5, you can search it later, but I will tell you as example. ES5, if you take a ES5, ECMAScript 5, so ECMAScript 5 doesn't have this constant let. Defining a variable. This is another way to define a variable, right? So but ECMAScript 5 at the time, they doesn't have this constant let to define a variable, but at that time ES5 only has var keyword to define a variable. But if you take now ES6, ECMAScript 6, you can know they introduce constant let. So this is another way, another new feature they introduce to for developer to use and define a variable. So basically these both are basically different. So there's a small difference between these constant let, but I'm not going to tell you all these things, but you must need to learn what is ES5 and ES6, what are the ES5 features available, and what are the ES6 things are available. These things you must need to learn, right? Another one is object oriented programming. So this is really must to learn, right? Don't miss this. You must need to learn the object oriented programming principle first, right? So you need to write a code in object-oriented way. And also guys, please note, JavaScript is not an object-oriented programming language, but it's basically we can write the code object-oriented way, but with the syntax sugar. But actually, it's not a object-oriented programming language, but you can write the code like object-oriented programming. So this is the beauty of JavaScript, right? So ES5 you need to write a prototype-based programming, right? So prototype. So all the things, if you want to define the method, you need to define inside the prototype. So prototype is the one who use in the ES5, the way of object-oriented programming writing. But if you are come to ES6, object-oriented programming is slightly different. So in ES6, they introduce syntax sugar, that is class keyword. You can define a class keyword and write object-oriented programming. Like you can construct, and you can inside the class you can define the methods and all you can do with the ES6 newly introduced class keyword. So that's the reason I'm telling you these all are interlinked with each others. If you know, if you learn these concept only, you will become a JavaScript developer. The fundamental is must, right? So I covered object-oriented programming as well. Another one is client-side web API. So you need to learn about web APIs. I'm not talking about external API. I'm talking about a client-side web API. So client-side web API is basically coming with the browser. So I'm not talking about, once again, I'm not talking about a BOM, browse object model. I'm talking about a web API client-side giving. So like for example, so if you want to define events, right? So let's say if you want someone click one of the button in your web page, right? So in this time, you need to capture the event. So how do you capture that? So that is event API, event web API. So it's a event API. Likewise, we have many API. Like if you want to do XML HTTP request or fetch the data from a different link given through API, that is possible with the fetch web API. So these are web APIs. So likewise, there are a lot of web APIs are available. The mostly majorly used one you need to learn. So keep that in mind. So you need to learn web API as well. Another one is Git version control. You must need to learn about Git version control. So Git version control is basically versioning your software. Let's say you are working on a kind of a project you want to share with others as well. How to handle it? So you can't copy the entire source and share with them. So that is not a good practice. So this is the reason why you need to choose or why you need to use version control system. So if you keep the your development project in on the central place, people start take the clone and they can develop. So if they want to merge the latest changes to your centralized place or centralized code, they can send a request, a PR, or raise a PR, and you can review it and merge it. So these are basically in-depth topics. I'm not going to talk about anything, but just giving a heads up, you need to learn about Git version control. So keep a note everything what I am saying, and take a look after watching this video, and just do the self-study. So if you are not good in the self-study, just ask help from ChatGPT. So if you don't know about ChatGPT, there is another video I have created what is all about the ChatGPT. Watch that video if you don't know, right? So this is overall what you need to know about to become a JavaScript developer. So if you are learn these fundamental concepts, you become a junior JavaScript developer. You have a understand of what JavaScript doing and how to do most of the stuff. So likewise, once you are learn these fundamental concepts, you can move to advanced level of JavaScript. You can upgrade your skill. I hope you guys have learned something new here. Thank you for watching until end of this video. So we came to end of this video right now. So if you are not yet subscribe my channel, go below and hit the subscribe button. If you like my video, hit the thumbs up button as well. Then guys, have a great day. I will catch you on new video.